Hey, Hugo.
How's it going, Murray?
How are you?
Good, good.
Are we okay to launch in, or are we waiting on David or something?
He went out to the laptop there. He might be letting people.
Yeah, just getting the last few heads in there.
There you go.
So we should be good to go. So this is live content radio TV online with Hugo, which we'll syndicate afterwards. Okay. So do you want to kick us off there, Corky, for one to change?
I will, no problem. Hugo, how are you? It's good to see you.
Good, yeah. Yourself?
Not too bad, thanks, yeah, not too bad. I'm just looking back over the games you've played in your career so far. You've never played against New Zealand at senior level, so it's a new challenge and obviously something you must be looking forward to.
Yeah, definitely. I suppose the challenge doesn't really get bigger than this, than the All Blacks, so it's exciting. These are the games that you want to be involved in, and it's really exciting, the prospect of it. I've never played them before, obviously. Had a bit of success at underage, at under-20s level against them. Never came across them in the sevens. But yeah, they're a serious side and it's a big, big challenge. But I think we're all looking forward to it here.
And when you look back at the game against Japan last weekend, is there a degree of kind of envious? Are you kind of slightly jealous? I said it really tongue-in-cheek, the fact that you're the only back who didn't actually score on the starting team.
Yeah, I got a bit of slagging for it. I actually didn't realise until the physio said it to me after the game. It never really clicked. You're not really thinking of these things during the match. Obviously, it would have been nice to, but listen, I'm happy once we're scoring tries, once the back line's playing well and sort of ticking like we did, and it's obviously a good sign for the whole of us. But I'm not too worried about it, but as long as James Lowe is not getting too many, I'm happy.
Just a final question from me. I mean, does the manner of the victory over Japan give you a lot of confidence ahead of the game this weekend?
Yeah, it's a good starting point for this 3-game block. We've shown patches of that performance in the Six Nations last year and then in the summer series, and we're even showing patches in training. Not that it was anything like a perfect performance. There's still lots of mistakes, but it's good starting sort of point for us and a good standard to set, and now that's the benchmark and we have to improve from there, because there's obviously a much bigger challenge this weekend and we're going to have to be even better if we want to win.
Good man, thanks, have a good week.
Cheers, thank you.
Your new kind of offloading style that he kind of unveiled last weekend, do you double down on that now this week? Is there no going back now?
No, it's always important to sort of push that aspect, and that sometimes you get the opportunities when you win that sort of contact to keep the ball alive, to look for those offloads, and I think that's the reason sort of why we got a few offloads, is because our sort of physical dominance around the contact area was quite good. So yeah, it's something we're working on in training, and I suppose hopefully we'll bring that again this week.
Yeah, do you have a lot of confidence in that style that you can develop it even further?
Yeah, like the skill set in the group's massive, across the board, even in the pack, there's definitely the ability to, for those offloads. It's just, I suppose, choosing the right times to do it and executing it when you do it. But you don't want to be forcing it, and I don't think it's anything has really changed in the way we play or anything like that. It's just a few of them came off on the weekend, and because we were winning that sort of physical contacts, that we got the right to offload.
Hey, Hugo. As I said, you didn't score any, but you obviously set up Andrew for the one in the right corner off that maul play. The pass was obviously an excellent bit of skill. How hard have you worked on that side of the game? How easy is it to actually do that under pressure over such a long distance as well?
Yeah, definitely pleasing. It's the reason why you do all those drills and why you have the skill sessions, and why you get all those reps in and stuff. I suppose it probably helped that I had to do them all the time with the sevens. it was exactly like a first receiver pass in the Sevens game, feeding the likes of Terry Kennedy and Jordan Conroy, and feeding the speed is what I used to call it. But yeah, it's nice when they come off.
Absolutely. That whole side of your game, you've probably had more touches around the offloading, the passing, that kind of creative side of your game, building on top of the foundations. Was it important for you to keep adding kind of strings to your bow at this level?
Yeah, definitely. You have to keep on improving. Like, there's so much competition, for the jersey, but it's also like the international standard. And if you don't keep improving and I suppose pushing yourself to like add a few more strings to the bow, as you said, that people will catch up with you and sides will start, I suppose, analysing you and finding what you normally do, and you have to always sort of keep them on their toes and whatnot.
The 50-22 kick was a brilliant moment. Was that something, again, that you guys have been working on? Was it something that happened instinctively in the game?
I think it just happened instinctively. Their backfield was a bit open, but it is something like you have to be aware of the rule and take those opportunities when they come. And obviously Caddy's in here coaching and sort of kicking, and Richie Murphy was in last week as well. So it's something we're constantly working on, and it's a thing that I'm trying to improve in my game as well. So it's nice for one of them to come off. Probably should have had a second though.
Yeah, it was close. Cheers. Good luck with it this weekend.
Cheers. Thank you.
Hey there, Hugo. Just wondering about the two wins before your time with Ireland, 2016 and 18. There's still a fair number of players in the squad who were part of either one or both. How much has that been talked about this week, and how useful might it be to have some of those players come the weekend that have beaten the All Blacks?
Yeah, definitely. It's the experience that those lads who played in those games, like even just having small chats, but also like inputting how they felt those games went in team meetings, and we've touched on it a small bit, but it's a different group, different management, and everything. So it doesn't really matter what's gone on in the past. It's a fresh slate, and it's sort of a good opportunity now for us to do it, and some lads who've never been a part of those famous wins to be involved this time. So it's exciting, yeah.
There was obviously quite a lot of aerial focus in the New Zealand-Italy game at the weekend just gone. How much of an all-round test are you and the boys expecting with ball in hand in attack, but also those defensive skills as well?
Yeah, definitely. They're going to challenge your skills to the highest degree, aren't they? Like, their kicking game's very good, very it's varied. So they have a lot of threats, and they obviously compete well in there, and they go hard in aerial battles. So it's definitely something that it's not new to us, but it'll definitely be in the back of our minds, and we'll be training it this week.
Just finally from me, it was a really good atmosphere for Johnny's 100th cap, obviously, in Dublin last weekend. Probably another 10,000 in the crowd, the All Blacks in town. What kind of atmosphere are you expecting, Hugo, and how helpful could it be to get over the line as well?
Yeah, last week was my first experience of playing in front of that big of a crowd for Ireland, and it makes such a big difference. Honestly, it's more enjoyable, but it's also when you're blowing and it's getting tough, just to give you that extra bit of encouragement to keep going. And yeah, it really helps. Like, it was really cool playing, and especially that Johnny moment for his try. That was a really special one. But another 10,000 this weekend, full stadium. It's really exciting, and the sort of days you want to be involved in, and hopefully it'll be another good one there.
Good luck.
Cheers, thank you.
Go and take the last couple there for Hugo.
Hugo, Andy said after the last game that one of the most pleasing things for him, probably the most pleasing, was your defence, and that you really didn't spend an awful lot of time in defence. It's probably fair to assume there might be slightly more time spent in defence this weekend, but in terms of how you managed to achieve that, what were the keys to making that defence as rigid as possible and getting out of it as quickly as possible?
I suppose just forcing them under pressure and trying to not defend for too many phases, and it's a bit of a mentality to try go get the ball back, and you can call it try scoring defence. And I think there was a few examples of that, whether it was kicks long, and it was the kick chase that was very good. Andrew Conway or even Ian Henderson forcing fumbles or mistakes and benefiting off the back of that. But it's something that we've been working on. Sai's been leading it well, and a few lads are taking ownership to lead the D, and it's something that we felt at the start of this camp that we couldn't really improve on, and I think that's a good standard for what it should be like, but we want to drive it on a lot more this week, because it's going to be a bigger challenge, and there's no better attacking side really, is there?
Certainly not. And just with regards to, you touched on obviously the identity of Ireland's team and where it wants to go in terms of that dynamic offloading, free-flowing game has been well spoken about. How much courage does it take to continue trusting in that style of play when you come up against these top teams?
Yeah, I suppose it's not about going into your shell. It's about trusting what you have been doing and what you're training, and I suppose just delivering against the best, and that's the challenge, isn't it? Just to do it at the highest level against the best opposition. So I can't say it again, but it's exciting.
Thanks, Hugo. Cheers.
Cheers, thank you.
Okay, take last one there, Michael.
Yeah, you were just wondering where you watched the 2018 match against New Zealand. Where were you?
That was the one at home in Aviva, wasn't it? Yeah, I was there with my brother. I went to it, so I got to experience it. I remember the atmosphere being incredible, so hopefully it'll be the same. Then I think in 2016 I was making my debut for Leinster against Zebra, so I think we were watching a bit of it in the airport. So
and just when you're talking about the difference between the crowds and the empty stadiums, is there a significant difference on the field? Do you feel the crowd throughout the whole game, or once the whistle goes, is it just total focus on the game, or could you say there is a massive difference during the game?
I suppose you sort of have to, in one way, put the crowd to the side and ignore the distractions and those sort of elements and just focus on the game and stuff, but you certainly hear them. You can't block out the noise and whatnot. It's just about staying in the moment and focusing on your job and not letting it distract you. But there's no way you're not going to hear them and not going to appreciate them roaring you on, and you can hear the excitement in the crowd when something big happens. So it's very enjoyable, really.
Thanks. Best of luck for the week.
Cheers, lads. Thank you.
Thanks, Hugo.
Cheers.